Welcome to Seeking Focus, episode number 12. And on episode number 12, we talk about Flight Club.
And the first rule of Flight Club is?
You do not talk about Flight Club. Yeah, I know.
Welcome to Seeking Focus, a podcast that provides photographers and videographers with a place to critically compare technology, share ideas, and enhance their skills.
Hello. Welcome to Seeking Focus, episode number... Evan?
12.
I forgot already. Which episode are we doing, man?
Number 12.
Number 12.
We've hit 12. We actually hit 10 a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they normally say if you hit more than 7, then you're doing well. So I guess we're doing kind of okay. Hopefully we're getting some listeners, but I don't know for sure. What are our stats? I don't even know what our stats are. I'm going to check them out.
Amazing stats. I actually haven't bothered to look at the stats. She's a couple of months, so I'm presuming they're going well.
We're still doing this online, still throwing it to Zoom, and it's painful. And I want to see all of you guys in person and on a photo walk in the city or something like that. But hopefully, end of this month. When this is airing, then hopefully we'll be out of the lockdown, and then we can catch up. So we'll see how it goes, eh?
I've actually got a number of shoots lined up, just waiting to happen. Photography walks and stuff like that. So it will be interesting.
Yes, it will be interesting. See how it goes. Hey, how's your week anyway this week, man? Have you been doing much, or you?
Doing a lot of podcast editing. So just edit. Been doing a lot of that, and also spending a lot of time rebuilding the RC car that we spoke about in the last episode.
You're getting into RC stuff. Nice.
Yeah, no, because this week I was at the local skate park, and I was launching it off jumps and landing 3 jumps down, and I was actually getting really good at it. And at one stage, I took off and I gave it a little bit more stick. And the car went flying through the air, and the wheel came off and went flying into a whole bunch of people.
Smashed it.
Well, the car actually landed fine in 3 wheels, but the wheel...
Don't worry, mate. It's all good, mate. I smash my drones all the time, bro.
No, but it didn't smash. It actually landed okay. It was the wheel, though, that projected into this crowd and smacked someone in the head. So you got this big, massive wheel that smacks someone in the head, and then you're like...
RC driving is just as dangerous as flying drones and aeroplanes, eh?
Well, it's a big squishy wheel, so it's probably not as bad as a blade cutting you to pieces, but it still can cause a bit of damage, I guess. How about yourself, Marty?
I've been just flat out with my part-time job, man. As most of our listeners know that I don't actually do photography and videography full-time. I try to keep it a bit changing around, so my part-time job has just been smashing me, and it's just been... today I had a massive migraine because just how much work that I had to do for them. So, yeah.
I have to ask. I thought during lockdown you wouldn't be allowed to do pole dancing and stripping.
Come on now. I know you pay big bucks to see me, man. I know that.
Yeah. So what's the show on today?
All good, man. All good. But with this week's show, we've got a Chris from Flight Club with us. Hey, Chris, how you going, brother?
Hello, Marty. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thanks, man. Chris is he's got he's probably one of the most successful YouTubers that I know actually on the market at the moment. He's got a YouTube channel that's over 30,000 subscribers, and his YouTube channel is called Flight Club, and it's all about. Tell us, Chris, what's it about, man?
So Flight Club is all about flight training. So it's all animation, and it covers theory for students wanting to learn how to fly airplanes. Quite a few gamers are also my regular viewers. So gamers, for flight sim gamers.
For flight simulators. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and they obviously learn how aeroplanes work and how all the bits and pieces, because your channel goes into quite a bit of depth, how aeroplanes work, how does the I was watching a couple of episodes that you did was about like the Mark 1, Mark 2 and speed and aerodynamics and other things. And it's really good from my perspective because, as you know, I fly drones as well. And, that sort of comes into a little bit of a understanding on how things work in the air, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So I talk about aerodynamics and systems, aircraft systems, and it's pretty much a wide range of topics from basic to pretty advanced. Those topics that you would be learning about if you were training to become an airline pilot. Well, which is what you've just mentioned, Mach numbers, etc.
Interesting. It's obviously a very it's a big subject, isn't it? Like aerodynamics and aviation in general is a huge subject. So I think it's a really good thing to talk about, and it's a very niche subject on YouTube, right?
It is actually. Look, there are many channels that do talk about aviation. But I focus mainly on the theory. So my background is actually as a flight instructor, so I teach people how to fly aeroplanes.
So you're actually a pilot yourself?
I am, yes. And
Excellent.
I've been doing it for a while, and I've also been teaching students in a sort of like a classroom environment. So years ago, when I was teaching part-time students, I was unable to find any good videos on YouTube that would kind of supplement the theory that we were talking about in a limited time.
Yep.
So I was after videos that would kind of explain the more intricate elements of the theory. I mean, there is some amazing stuff on YouTube, but a lot that I found, with your typical videos that were a little bit too long or convoluted, bad audio, that type of stuff. Also, at the same time, I was reading a very interesting book, and this book is called Brain Rules: 12 Principles for Surviving and Thriving at Work, Home and School. It's by Dr. John Medina. And there's one particular statement from this book that kind of stood out for me. And I put it on my website, and it goes something like this. If we teach through speech alone, then only 10% of the information is retained. If we use visual only, then that goes up to 35%. But when we combine both, we get 6 times better result, which is 65%. So to me, this just meant animation. If you want to teach someone, if you want to be effective, animate. So basically, at that time, I decided to make my own animation and put together this little channel on YouTube.
Interesting. And obviously it worked, because obviously people are subscribing to you, and that's why we're here on the show, to sort of pick your brain on this, how this whole thing works. You know what I mean?
Yes. Look, it's I set this channel up about 7 years ago. I haven't been very active on YouTube throughout that whole time, I must admit. I mean, there were periods when I didn't, post any content for a year or so. Look, I'm a lot more consistent now, and I can see that's actually working out well for me. I think.
Let's sort of go back a little bit. So the reason why you actually started the YouTube channel is just to sort of teach people aviation, like the general, I don't know, basically general understanding of aviation, and they just portray it. Did you actually started to make money though, or did you actually just want to sort of get the information out there, just have some sort of just interaction with people? Like, can you give us more information on that?
Yes, look, money, no, that was not a motivator for me. I didn't actually monetize the channel for a long time. Only quite recently I decided to do this because the expenses of running a channel are actually quite high. So look, my intention was to provide students with some additional information. A lot of the theory that I was teaching was very difficult to explain in a classroom environment on a whiteboard. Animation is fantastic in that sense. When you can show movement, when you can add narration to it, it works really well. And my students were able to do this in their own time. So there was benefit to it. I had a lot of presentations already done in Keynote. So for those people that don't know,
So
Keynote
is that what you started off with? Yeah. So Keynote was
that's
the sort of.
yeah. Yeah. So Keynote is the equivalent of Microsoft PowerPoint in the Mac environment. So I had those presentations, and what I did was I just decided to convert those into animation. A lot of people don't know this, but you can actually animate in PowerPoint and Keynote. It's not probably not the workflow that I would recommend. There's no timeline, there's no layers in Keynote, but it can be done. So a lot of my earlier videos were done in Keynote. I was lucky enough to get a really good narrator, so we put the voiceover and look, it worked. Yeah, it worked quite well.
It's funny how it works because the sound and animation just goes well together, and you have a right sound person to obviously talk about it and the voice, and then people look at the actual animation component as well. It just works, doesn't it? Like I've noticed with my YouTube channel as well. I mean, I've got bloody 300 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is crap. I'm hoping everyone's going to jump on and subscribe so I can get 30,000 like Chris. But I started doing obviously animations on my YouTube channel as well. So every time I do a video, basically what it does is I talk about specific locations, say in Melbourne or Sydney or Brisbane, which hopefully we can travel to soon. And then basically what I do an animation of the location, like map and stuff like that. And it's all in Keynote, which is pretty crap. So how long have you done Keynote for, like when you started off the YouTube channel? Because Keynote is very straightforward, you know what I mean? How long have you actually done the Keynote for? And then when did you actually switch over to Adobe? Because I know you edit everything on Adobe After Effects at the moment.
Yeah, look, Adobe, that happened quite recently for me. So during lockdown in Melbourne, I had a bit of spare time, so I subscribed to Skillshare and set a few courses in Adobe After Effects, and it intimidated the hell out of me at the start, I must admit.
It does for everyone, man. I feel the same.
Just the interface, is enough to put you off. But once you learn it, like everything, it makes sense. All the puzzle, the pieces fall into place, and I feel pretty comfortable in After Effects now. So most of my videos were done in Keynote, but all the recent stuff in After Effects, and I'm so glad I actually made this jump because
that's brilliant.
You can't really compare. It's so much easier, and After Effects is just so much more powerful.
Yeah.
So
that's brilliant, man. I think Evan wanted to say something as well. He's been nice and quiet there. Come on, Evan, speak up, brother. Speak up.
I just want to look. I have to say I've watched the videos, and the Keynote ones are actually quite impressive for what they are. And hearing that you're using After Effects is really interesting because very early on, I actually did use After Effects for a few of my productions, probably about 5-6 years ago. They weren't bad, but the amount of effort that went into it was just astronomical. And I pretty much gave up on the package recently. I reopened it again and looked at it, and I just went, I don't know what the hell's going on here, and I don't have the time to learn it, so I've closed it. I mean, for me personally, it wasn't logical, the progression. Normally I open up a package and everything just makes sense, and you can sort of stumble your way through it and produce something within half an hour. I literally, with After Effects, sat there looking at it for like half an hour, and I still didn't know what was going on, and I just closed it. I thought, I've had enough. So I've paid for the package. It's sitting there. I don't use it. But how long did it take you to actually become proficient at it?
Look, I'm still learning. It's so powerful. I don't think I ever will. I feel comfortable to be able to animate pretty much anything that I imagine in my mind now. So that took me probably a good 1 year of practice. But with After Effects, I find that you have to understand the fundamentals, the basics. So if you do that, if you understand what every little bit does and how it all fits together, then it really does make sense, and it's not that hard. It just takes time and practice. It's it's not a matter of just looking at some tutorial on YouTube. You actually have to put the time into practicing.
I think that's pretty much anything though, because I mean, like I've been quite proficient with After Effects, but I've noticed that if I put it down for a week or even 3 or 4 days, I almost forget what to do and what I learned a week earlier. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you have to just keep on going, and then just persevere with it, and it will just stick to your brain,
Absolutely.
like mud. Yeah.
Yeah, but I spent half an hour on it at least, and I just can't do anything.
Hey.
It's half an hour. It's like, come
That's
on.
because you're too old, brother.
I want to
Chris
tell you
is
how
much younger than you are, mate. That's why
there
he
you
can
go.
catch everything.
There you go. I was just going to say how much my back's hurting me, and I've got to get my walking stick. But yeah, no, it's it's one of those things where it's extremely powerful. I do want to learn it, but I just don't have the patience for it at the moment. So I think next time I need any graphics work or animation, I'm just going to give you a call, Chris. Is that all right?
Definitely. Chris is your man. Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
do you know, have you noticed like increase in like subscribers on your YouTube channel since you started doing that Adobe After Effects animations, or do you find that it didn't really help a lot? Do you think when people are starting off or when people are doing animation YouTube channel or whatever else, do you think the animation quantity versus quality doesn't matter?
I don't think it does. I don't think so. Yeah, look, my subscriber count has been pretty constant throughout. A lot of my keynote animations are my highest rated, and they have most views. Yeah, I mean, they've been around for a bit longer than some of my newer content, which is the Adobe Effects content.
Of course.
But I don't think so. I think it's more about the actual value that you provide in your video. So I place a lot of focus on the script. Probably majority of my time that I spend in creating each video is spent on research and writing the script, and then editing the script. So, I'll spend, let's say, a week writing a script for a video, and then I'll spend many more days after that editing it, basically removing anything that, I don't think fits well or shouldn't be there, even a single word in a sentence, just to make it as concise as possible. And that seems to resonate with my viewers.
Yeah, unlike I like my YouTube videos, because my YouTube videos just go, yeah, man, they come here, take some photos, and you're cool, bro. It's like, you actually put thought and then obviously effort behind your video. I mean, not that I don't put any effort into my videos, but it's recently I've come on, Evan, why are you laughing at me for?
I'm not laughing at all. It's not funny at all.
But you know what though, during lockdown though, I think myself as well, because I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything. I've just been doing like videos on my drones and whatever else, and there's been obviously a bit of subscribers jumping on that as well, which is great. But have you seen that the lockdown has affected you much?
It has, and not in a good way, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Not in a good way. So since COVID, my viewer count dropped. I think the reason being is that my channel is quite niche. So I provide value to students learning how to fly airplanes, and aviation did not, fare too well during COVID.
True.
So a lot of schools stopped operating, and a lot of people lost their jobs. So, look, that didn't work out too well, but it's picking up now. I can see. I can see that.
You'll think that you would have thought that like people will try to upskill themselves, or try to obviously get more understanding on YouTube, because I've noticed a lot of other sort of some YouTubers that I follow, because of the lockdown, everyone's stuck at home. It's helped them obviously jumping onto the subscriber rate ups and whatever else as well. But I guess each to their own, and the niche subject matter that you talk about is obviously a lot different as well. So what do you think, Evan?
Yeah, no, look, definitely. To be honest with you, during lockdown, I haven't had a chance to jump onto YouTube at all. I've just been doing homeschooling and tearing my hair out with the screaming kids. If I can, I do have a question which I wanted to ask Chris. And taking a step back, with the production of your videos, we're talking about your video production and using animation and seeing the difference in people watching it and so on. One of the things that I have a very, 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 very strong belief when it comes to video production, especially for things like YouTube, that audio is more important than video. That's my strong theory, and I tell people that I strongly believe that if a video image is crappy, but the audio is clear, people will sit there and still watch it because they can hear the audio and stuff, and they deal with the crappy image. But if they've got a fantastic image, but the audio is distorted and sounds like crap, they just won't hang around or switch off. What do you think is more important, the visuals or the audio for your production?
Look, the audio by far. This is actually one of my mistakes that I have made with some of my content. What I did was I recorded the narration and then put music over the top of it. And in quite a number of my videos, the music is just too loud, it's too distracting, it's not appropriate. And I actually do get a little bit of negative feedback on that. It's my regret, and I've learned from it. I still use music, but it's a lot more quiet, and it's definitely not the type of disco music that some of my other videos have in them. So definitely audio, definitely, whether that we're talking about animation or video.
So no deep house techno like Evan uses to all his videos.
I was actually thinking, leave the deep house alone. I'm thinking thrash metal. Thrash metal is the way to go.
Yeah. Death metal.
Playing with, Jimi Hendrix chewing on the keys. But yeah, so fabulous, yeah.
Hey, Chris, for the or people that are thinking of starting YouTube and basically thinking about sort of getting onto YouTube, do you think it's worth it? Do you think is there something that you would maybe start another channel about? What do you think, man? Do you think starting a YouTube channel these days with so many YouTubers out there with so much information already out there, do you think it's still worth it?
Oh, look, absolutely it's never too late. And YouTube is the second biggest search engine after Google. It's owned by Google. No, Google's not going anywhere, and YouTube's not going anywhere either. Yeah. So look, I think this is probably the best time to start YouTube. Okay. YouTube provides creators with many amazing tools these days. A lot of training that people years ago did not have access to. So absolutely there is room for everyone, and the more the better.
Yeah, it's just not going to stop anytime soon, eh?
I don't think so. And
So I was just going to say, I just hope that the people who take that advice, when they come along and actually produce a video or a channel on YouTube, that they actually have some content of value. There is so many content channels out there which are just full of crap.
Very true, yeah. And that was my next question, I guess, I mean, if you do start a YouTube channel, what do you think you should do it about, and why would you do it? Like, I'm just thinking, would you just start off a channel to purely make money and hoping to make money, or do you think, just start it off just for fun, or just, add value, obviously, somehow? What do you think?
Look, I mean, I think you have to be able to do one of two things, to either entertain or educate, in my opinion. In fact, if you can do both, that's even better. So ultimately, like you said, you need to provide value to the viewer for their time, and my advice would be to find something that a topic that I call evergreen. So something that you will talk about that will be relevant today. And 5 to 10 years from now, because I'm a believer that YouTube will be around for a long time.
Yeah.
I
when I started my YouTube channel, I kind of wanted to create value to people, because my channel is obviously Melbourne Images, you know what I mean? So I wanted to make people, add value to people, to when they come to Melbourne, or and Melbournians themselves, like I'm sure a lot of people have been living in Melbourne for most of their lives, and they haven't seen the Webb Bridge, or they haven't seen just different locations in Melbourne. You know what I mean? Like HMVS Cerberus, for instance, in Blackrock. You know what I mean? That's such an amazing location, and I think my understanding is to just to have some fun with it, just to create a bit of value, and then hey, if you make money out of it, shit, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? I might cut that out, but but we'll try not to swear on this on this channel. But look, I think creating value is the main thing, though, isn't it? Like, I mean, you can just create a YouTube channel about anything and everything, and a lot of people like the Peter McKinnons and I don't know, the very successful Matty Hapoya or whoever else. They make money literally vlogging almost. That's my understanding anyway. Just talk about their lives, they talk about their families, and the only thing is, I found that your life is going to be pretty exciting for people to see what to come across and get other people excited about your life, which like your channel obviously doesn't have your face on it. It doesn't actually have your voice. You're using a voiceover artist to create all this stuff. So is it one day you're going to be on the channel, do you think?
Oh, look, I'd like to. I'd like to do. I'm passionate about videography, so I wouldn't mind, getting the dust off my camera and putting it to some good use.
What camera do you use, Chris? What camera do you use, Chris?
Come on, Chris. The wrong thing here, Chris.
What camera do you use?
I'm in a Sony Universe as well.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Sorry, continue on. I had to put that in.
So look, that's the plan. One day, it will happen. Hopefully, once we can get out of houses,
good.
I have a bit of advice for you, Chris, and what I found is the key to success when it comes to being on YouTube and being a main speaker and having your face on there. Just have lots of tats, long hair, and heaps of rings on your hands. Lots of rings. You got to look like and that will bring you to success, because every single person who's successful has that combination: tats, rings, and
you got to stand
hair.
out. You got to stand out about the rest. Unlike my bald head.
So to stand out, wear more rings than everyone else.
I don't know what my viewership would think about that. Aviation is extremely conservative. I don't know how seriously they would take me if I appeared looking like that on my channel. But look,
so
I think
Go on. Sorry, go on.
Look, I think ultimately, you need to be passionate what you are creating. About
True.
It has to be something that gives you some joy or some personal fulfillment, because it's not easy. Succeeding in YouTube is extremely hard. So it's a process that you need to enjoy. So whether it's vlogging or covering
for sure.
advanced aerodynamics or talking about how to peel a potato or something, it has to be something that you are extremely passionate about. I'm a strong believer of that.
Okay, so does that mean that your next project will be RC Club?
Sorry,
a RC Club? Like RC remote control cars?
Oh, RC Club. Oh, look, maybe.
The aerodynamics of four-wheel
I'm trying to get him into droning and stuff, but he doesn't want to have a bar of it.
I have a drone. It spends most of its time either in pieces or stuck in trees. So that's it's safer for me to have an RC car. So that's what I've discovered. I've left my drone. Even my son has stopped using his drone. I would just move straight to RC cars. It's safer.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Not for just us, but also for the general community around us.
Hey, Chris, when you started your YouTube channel, how long did it take you? How many months, days? I don't know. How long did it take you to actually start seeing, subscriber rate going up and any kind of income from it, basically?
Look, it took a while. So I set up the channel, as I said, 7 years ago. I got a bit of interest initially, and then I lost interest in it, unfortunately. So I probably reached about 3,000 subscribers within maybe 2 years, maybe 1 year actually.
Yeah,
And then it kind of stopped for a little while. That was my fault. I stopped creating.
Oh, so you start creating videos, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I wasn't monetizing at that time. I'm monetizing my videos, but on very limited basis. So, for example, I choose not to include those overlay, those ads on the bottom of videos.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have this option as a
Oh, okay. I didn't
creator
know that.
yeah. So I find them quite annoying and distracting, and they wouldn't fit well with my content. So I'm probably missing a bit of revenue for that. But I believe in providing better value for the viewer. So I chose not to monetize for quite some time. I think I had about 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers before I did that. I believe currently you need 1,000 subscribers, and you need about you need 4,000 hours of view time before you can monetize.
Okay, so on all the videos?
Yes, that's right, on your
Yeah, okay.
entire channel, and then you
Okay.
need to apply for for the AdSense account, and a lot of forms, a lot of paperwork, a lot of tax information that you need to
right.
provide now. And so I did my head in when I had to do it, but it worked out. So yeah, look, my channel picked up a little bit more recently, probably last 2 years, when I became a little bit more consistent with producing and posting content, and and it's growing quite
Okay.
well now. So it's probably
So-
at its best peak.
So as a creator, you think consistency is the key to be successful in YouTube?
I think so, but that in two ways. So consistency, you have to be consistent with how, I guess, frequently you post. That doesn't have to. I mean, the rule of thumb is post once a week at the same time. This is what most professional YouTubers seem to be doing, but that doesn't have to be the case. But I also think you have to be consistent with your content. So, all my content is about aviation. It's for students that learning how to fly airplanes. They come to me, and I provide them with the information they need to know. If I started talking about men's colognes or something like that on my channel, then that wouldn't work out too well for me. So
it looks like I
consistency
stuffed
is
up then.
definitely the key. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Ivan?
looks like I stuffed up then, because my channel started off as Melbourne Images. Basically, maybe you can educate me as well, because obviously most of my videos are time lapses and locations of Melbourne, and that's why I'm obviously Melbourne Images. But then during lockdown, you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything, so I started doing drone videos basically. So it's probably not the best idea that I had, obviously, since you're saying try to stick to one subject. Look, it's, I don't know, maybe my channel is going to turn into a droning channel. You know what I mean?
Look,
I don't
that's
know.
right. You have to test, test different ideas as well, from time to time.
Yeah, right.
Just you just have to be aware that the almighty algorithm is watching. Yes, the preference is for consistency of content, with that.
Since you mentioned algorithms, can you give us more understanding on it, I guess? Because algorithms on YouTube, they are, as far as I know, they're always changing. And
absolutely.
what do you recommend, or what do you know about the algorithms so far?
Look, I've done a lot of research into it, and I still feel like I don't know much. Like you said, it's a constantly changing, area. It's I think you could do a university degree in this field, no problems. It's huge. I'll give you an example. For example, let's say, Marty, if you watched my channel and you gave me a like on every single video on my channel, that would not be as beneficial to me if you viewed my videos, but only liked maybe one or two. Okay, so more likes does
So
not...
more views rather than actual likes.
Yeah,
What you
look,
saying?
same views,
Okay.
but less likes.
Oh.
The algorithm prefers to see more intentional feedback from the viewer. So if you...
as opposed to you paying 50 of your friends to go off and like everything that you produce.
Well, I'm
which
sure-
that happens. There's a market for it at the moment. There's you see people's advertising. I'll pay you $100 if you give me 10,000 likes from your friends and stuff. So there is actually a monetization in that area as well, and that's probably what the algorithm is designed to knock out, so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, look,
Possibly.
absolutely. I mean, it's smart. It's definitely smart. A lot of psychology goes into it. YouTube had 15 years of development, to make it perfect, and it's still, like Marty said, it's still constantly changing and evolving. But I guess if you like my video, one video, that means you really, really like it. You really like it, and that's a bonus. As opposed to just being habitual, just like. So that's another thing. I'll give you one tip, though. I'll give you one tip that I've learned recently, though, about the algorithms. If you want to receive highest recommendations for your content from YouTube, stay away from any controversial topics. So, the moment you start talking about flat Earth or things like that, then you're pretty much gone. So that would be something I would remember to avoid doing.
Interesting. So if you mention something like that on your channel, you're saying something controversial with COVID, I don't know, whatever else, like all these people are protesting and whatever else. It's obviously not a good idea to be able to, because that will be picked up by the algorithm itself. So the algorithm looks at the way you, I guess, the talking and any visuals as well. I don't know, how does that work? I'm guessing the algorithm looks at both.
Absolutely,
in a way, right?
Absolutely. Every word you say on YouTube is translated into text. So the system definitely picks up what you are saying, and so any content.
So no swearing.
Like that,
no swearing, or do you
no,
think
I wouldn't advise too much swearing. Definitely not.
Like, we never swear on this show. We never swear.
Yeah.
So I don't know about Evan though. I'm not sure.
I think I've sworn twice in my life. But quick question. So it picks up on audio, things and decodes them and basically says, this person's done that. What about images in the video itself? Like, say for example, I'm talking about photography or whatever, and there's a SWAT sticker in the background, or something along those lines, which is offensive or it's culturally inappropriate. Do visuals also get picked up, or is it just the audio?
I don't believe visuals get picked up.
Unless someone complains, obviously, but... Yeah,
don't quote me on that, but yes, they're exactly right. Like you said, the feedback that you get from your viewers gets picked up, and that will reflect on you. So, this is what YouTube relies on, is the feedback, which is another kind of metric.
It looks... I was going to say it's a very I guess confusing and ever changing as well. So obviously to beat the algorithm as such, your recommendation will be stick to one thing, avoid controversial topics, and to be true to what you believe in as a creator, to educate people, to create, entertain, and those 3-4 things obviously will skyrocket you to the top, like Evan is.
We can't guarantee that, Marty, but look, that sounds like a pretty good formula, I believe. Provide value, educate, be aware that this is people's time that we are talking about. You want to, you definitely want to make it worth the while, and I believe education is probably the key. I mean, entertainment, that can go either way. Look, but
I get
enjoy
that.
it, enjoy it, and that will come through to the viewers. If you enjoy it, they'll enjoy it no matter what you do. And ideally, if you can, pick content that's going to stick around for a while. If
Yeah.
you do
Okay.
reviews of the latest GoPro today, it's not going to be relevant 5 to 10 years from now. So think
True.
about those kind of topics as well.
All right, now I have a question for you, which basically covers a whole bunch of the topics that we've spoken about for the last 10 minutes. I have a YouTube channel, which I produced about 10 to 15 years ago. It's still up there. There's about 50 videos on there, probably about 500 subscribers. I've never really pushed for subscribers, but it just happened. And
That's pretty good.
It is, considering I've never done anything with it.
Well,
So-
think about it this way. I saw a stat recently. Sorry to cut you off, but
That's all right.
only somewhere between 0.1 and 0.5% of all channels will reach 1,000 subscribers. So you're halfway there, and that's pretty good.
So considering I haven't advertised it, it's a
Wow.
miracle. So there you go, Marty. I'm fantastic, aren't I? So, so I created this channel. The videos are up there. There's lots of interesting content. There's music. There's video. It was before its time when it was produced. It was all about the world of off-road racing. And a lot of people don't realize this about me. I actually used to run a business, or not a business, more of a community project called Team Mud Rhino, which had been around for about 15 years, and it was all about off-road racing around Australia. We produced videos, we sold them worldwide, and these were all the previews and all the content, and like if there was an accident, we'd film the accident and people would be able to watch it. Now, I've never monetized any of that. I've never bothered to do anything other than post it for people's enjoyment. And it's been sitting there. I haven't touched it in over 10 years. In fact, I just looked it up now. And there's thousands of views, and I think the last it was 15 years old. Anyway, so if I wanted to monetize that, is there a way of monetizing the content that I've already produced and it's sitting there, or is this you can't go backwards and monetize something?
Oh, yes, you can't go backwards, and you would need another 500 subscribers. It sounds that you would probably have the view time. So that's 4,000 hours in 12 months. Sounds you probably would be there, but yeah, you would need a little bit more subscribers to do that. But yeah, look, with monetization, it's probably worth noting that just from YouTube, the ads that run before and in the middle of your videos, you're probably not going to make too much money out of it on that level. I'll give you an example here. So
That'd be good.
yeah, look, so for me, let's say a typical video, it takes me somewhere between maybe 5 hours to 35 hours to produce. So once that's on YouTube, and it's been on YouTube for quite some time, let's say maybe 6 to 12 months, that video will earn me maybe 80 cents per week. Okay. So if you think about it, that's a little depressing, yeah. So
It is a bit, actually, if you think about it. Yeah.
you spent let's say even 5 hours on a video. You're proud of it, and all you get out of it. And so this is probably the average for a channel my size. This is what you would expect to get. But look, I'm not motivated by this monetization, but I see it as an investment, actually. So if you look at this figure, 80 cents per week, assuming that this particular video doesn't grow, that still works out to be about $40 per year, which is not much. But if you have 100 videos on your channel and they average that 80 cents per week, that's $4,000 per year. So 10 years, that's pretty good money. That's $40,000. Now imagine if you had 1,000
passive
videos
income.
on your channel. And that's right, it's passive income, so if you sleep, when you sleep, I should say, that the income is generated. So I see it as an investment in that sense. And like you said, Evan, you've got a lot of videos there. So maybe all you would need to do is just, put a bit of work into getting those subscribers up and then monetize and just see what happens.
All right, so thank you for that. Now, another thing that I wanted to ask about making money off videos, product placement in your videos, which is completely different to money from Google, but product placement is something that I want to speak about. Now, I just want to take this moment, a timely reminder to all the people that I'm enjoying this cold, frosty glass of Gold Pour Triple IPA with that extra hoppy taste. I can taste it now. So, is it possible to be able to monetize having product content in your videos and basically selling things to people by having a can of Coke or, the Gold Pour, which, by the way, doesn't exist. I just made that up. But that's actually not a bad name for a product. Yeah, Gold Pour IPA, Triple IPA. Having a product sitting in front of you, you're like, telling everyone, I'm a great pilot. I love drinking. This stuff refreshes me. Woo, yeah. Is there a chance to actually to do something like that? I mean, your credibility might go down the drain, but all the young kids will be like, oh shit, yeah, I just swore, shit, yeah, I gotta drink Gold Pour IPA. Is there an opportunity to do that?
Look, I'm sure it's been done. So like sponsorships, you mean? Product?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I haven't explored that. I mean, my content is mainly animation. Would be a little bit difficult to fit in, a soft drink or
You should do the aerodynamics of the wind going over the can.
But look, certainly, I mean, that would be probably the better way to earn money out of YouTube. I would assume than
So in this case,
monetization.
you would, So in this case, potentially, you would get the company on board, and then they will basically give you X amount of dollars for creating and saying this episode is sponsored by blah
That's
blah
right.
Joe's. You know what I mean?
So why haven't we done that? Why haven't we done that, Marty?
Because no one wants to see your ugly face on YouTube, man.
I can still talk about beautiful products, this Glen 20 toilet brush is great for brushing your teeth.
One of my favorite YouTubers, which is Peter Lindgren, and he's only been really around for literally about 3 or 4 years, I think, and he's just put so much time and effort in. Have you heard of Peter Lindgren, Chris?
I haven't, no.
No, Evan definitely hasn't heard of him.
No, I was actually going to say it sounds like the YouTuber crossed with the fighter, the Russian fighter, Lundgren or whatever his name is.
Yes, well, kind of, yeah. But look, he actually is a videographer like us, like me and Evan, and we both basically create videos, and that's what he started off with. He started creating videos, and he started doing different things, and then he started creating YouTube channel, about talking about different items and whatever else, and he's obviously got to that point where people just enjoyed him, and he started doing everything in Swedish, and then as soon as he changed to English language, his viewer ratings just flew up and basically just skyrocketed. So but saying that, though, he creates 3-4 videos a week, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
And
Yep.
and that's huge, you know what I mean? So YouTube income for him is a proper day job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where for myself, I do it for fun of it. I do it about drones for fun of it. I talk about Melbourne locations for the fun of it, and I think some people treat it more serious than others in a way as well. And I guess job is a job. To me, the reason why I do videography part-time, because if it was a full-time thing, I would probably turn around to myself and hate it, because if I spend 60, 70 hours a week doing all of this stuff, Evan's got a green looking face on himself, but look, I'll probably hate it. That's what I'm trying to say, you know what I mean? And I love doing this stuff, and I love creating podcasts, and I love creating, videos and, photography and whatever else. If I got a full-time job at it, I'll bloody, I don't know, man. I think I just hate it. You know what I mean?
It's funny, actually.
Why are you laughing at me, Levin?
If you take it on as a full-time job, it actually changes your lifestyle, and those around you start changing the way they speak to you and stuff. Today, I was driving in the car, and my son's 7 years old, he turns around to me and says, "Dad, can we create another video?" Because I've let my son develop a few videos, which actually, I got to say, some of the videos he produced were almost as good as mine, if not better. It's kind of depressing, actually, 7-year-old producing better videos. But and I said, "Yeah, sure, son. What do you want to do? What's your next video? What do you want to do about?" And he's like, "Oh, Dad, I was thinking maybe we can do a video." Sorry, pardon me. Just bumped my microphone. Sorry, Dad. Yeah, Dad. I was thinking maybe we could do a video about RC cars. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. I said, okay, so what exactly do you want to do for this video? And he goes, well, Dad, I want to get the Black Magic. And I went, the what? He actually said Black Magic, which is my camera, so he knows it by name. I was just taken aback. I was like, I almost drove off the road when this happened. And I looked at him and I went, yeah. And he goes, and I want to put it on the Shark Slider. And I'm like, the what? Like, he knows the names of all the products that I've got. And I'm like, how the hell's he picked this up? And he's saying, and then we can slide it past the car and get like that moving motion of the blurred background. And I'm like thinking, this is a 7-year-old. I'm thinking, am I sending him down the wrong road? And then he started talking about action cams and, we can get Uncle Marty with his drones flying over the top, and we can have a camera on the car filming upwards so we can get the car and the drone. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I think I've been in this industry for too long. And
better start early, mate. Better start early.
But, when you do it full time, everything around you starts changing. So a 7-year-old, wanting to produce, movies is kind of scary.
It's how do you find it, Chris? Do you spend a lot of time on this sort of stuff, or do you find that it's becoming a full-time job for you?
Oh, look, not at the moment. It's probably heading in that direction. I look forward to making this maybe not a full-time job, but maybe a half-time job, if you like. I'd like to be this go-to channel for what I do, for aviation theory one day. That's my dream. So, it does consume a lot of my time. I think about it all the time. When I'm writing a script, it's constantly in my head. It's.
You obviously enjoy it though, so that's why you do it. And obviously
I love
enjoy the aviation component, and I know you love flying planes as well. So
And it is rewarding. I mean, financially not so. It probably costs me more to run the channel now than I actually make of it, but. When you get positive feedback, someone writes you a message saying that you've helped them with some, intricate bit of theory, and it feels good. It makes it all worthwhile, and it's there for a while. It'll be on YouTube for a long time. So hopefully a very long time, and you can't really go wrong with that. Yeah,
that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
And our kids will be watching these things. I'm sure YouTube will be around for a long time.
Oh, 100%. Well, all my kids basically are into YouTube, and all they do is just watch games, and I guess the brilliant thing of YouTube, it's got a genre for everything. You know what I mean? If you want to fix a quarter panel, car or whatever else, you can jump on and do 4-wheel builds, and basically you can do RC cars, and you know what I'm talking about. We've got a mate as well that he's into YouTubing, and I don't know how, but he's overseas in Poland, and he's creating YouTube videos about creating cars and fixing cars and whatever else. So there is a topic for everyone, and for myself, I love going out to different locations and filming in those locations and documenting my life when I go hiking or whatever else. So to me that's and for kids as well, you've got your kids channels, and from literally 2-3 years old to 90 plus years old. You know what I mean? So you can find anything and everything on it, and that's the whole beauty of YouTube, and that's why Hey, what's the long-term goal for you and Flight Club? Do you have you thought of that, or you just want to sort of creating? Is it like an endless pit of creating videos, or do you want to sort of just, like we said earlier, you might be on the show itself, like with the face and talk to people on the aviation. But what's the long term thing for you?
So I have some ideas to as I said before, use my camera a little bit more. And look, it's always going to be educational. I will always be providing that to my viewers. I'm going to remain consistent with it. But instead of animation, I might actually use the camera a bit more. Okay. So yeah, that's just probably
for like
next.
Playing parts, or like were you planning to sort of look inside an engine or something like that, or are you planning to look in a cockpit or something like that, or what do you?
Yeah, look. So what I'm going to do next is what everyone else on YouTube seems to be doing at the moment. I will have videos, about something like 5 best tips for trainee pilots, or 5 top tools that you can take with you on board, or things like that.
So aviation's obviously there's a lot to cover in that topic. Do you find it's almost like an endless pit?
It is. I feel very fortunate in that sense that I have infinite number of topics I can cover. So. And there's not much out there at the moment, so I'm extra lucky in that sense. So
that's good. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so that's probably next for Flight Club, and maybe one day I've got a website, so maybe I'll do a bit of work on that. Maybe write some courses or something.
Yeah, I must say, the Flight Club is a brilliant name. How did you come up with that?
Oh, good question. So, so flight, I guess, it's related to flight training and club. I wanted it to be sort of a community. So, Flight Club was what I came up with, and there was this famous movie brilliant. Also, Fight Club, that I'm sure we've all seen. Some good videography in that one.
Fight Club.
That's right.
You do not talk about Fight Club.
I was actually going to start the show off with that, but
Hey, we might. There we go. What's the rule? What's the rule number 1 of Fight Club? You do not talk about Fight Club. What's number 2? You do not talk. Anyway.
So as we're talking about, the future and what it holds, I mean, a lot of your stuff, Chris, is pre-recorded, obviously, because it's animation. It's not something that's done live. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if you could do it live. But have you ever considered possibly taking on live streaming at all as one of your products?
Yes, I have. That's something that I will probably do in the future, not anytime soon. Once I move to, videography a little bit more than animation, I think ideally, probably some form of Q&A would work well with my content. So I would look at doing that. I'm a little bit intimidated by it. I think it's not an easy thing to pull off quite well. So, I'll definitely
give it a camera is very hard. Talking to the camera is definitely hard, because I do it on my YouTube channel, and and I do 4 or 5 different takes. You know what I mean? And people don't realize how hard it is, but it's a pain. It's like you don't know where to look sometimes, and you kind of you start slurring words, and you start forgetting whatever you're talking about. So. But yeah, I don't know much about the live streaming. Evan, what are you thinking about live streaming?
Yeah, look, I actually dabbled into it for a little bit. I've got a whole live streaming setup, so I can actually run up to 4 different cameras at once, and through a video mixer and so on. And I've actually done a couple of live streams. It's not my forte, but I have done it. During COVID and stuff, there was a lot of different people, corporations, private sector needing live streams. One of the ones that I actually did a while ago, I think it was during the second lockdown, as just a courtesy to one of the local schools, was was the graduation ceremonies for young kids. They wanted to proceed with their live, like they wanted to do the ceremonies, but they couldn't have the parents there. So I said to them, well, look, I'm happy to live stream it. The parents can sit outside and they can watch their kids inside, so we can continue on with it. And we did a live stream like that. And there's a lot of people.
And that was all hosted on YouTube, obviously, as well.
That
so
is, yeah. This is live
had
streaming.
Very easy.
Yeah.
So
there's live streaming through YouTube. It's one of those functions that YouTube does offer as well. And you can run multiple cameras. You can do parts of it can be pre-recorded, and you can have interaction with people as well at the same time. So you can have live feeds of people talking. You also need to monitor that because there's a couple of blockheads out there who obviously make inappropriate comments, but a lot of people are jumping on that, and they're making money, and it's actually becoming easier and easier. Like, for example, you can plug in a HDMI transmitter onto your camera, which basically can transmit to other monitors around the room. But there's different ones around, like the Axiom Cine i2 Pro, which will also transmit to an iPad, which can then live stream the whole event straight from your camera directly onto YouTube. So you can also basically do that type of thing. And a lot of them are actually monetizing that as well. So they're charging for the service to do it live. Plus they're also then having people coming back to watch it again, which is basically bringing more income in for them. So yeah, there's endless possibilities, I guess, with social media and the way things are moving nowadays.
Well, YouTube and social media pretty much is becoming, like Chris said, is the second biggest search engine. You know what I mean? So if you want to change a battery in your remote control, you can just type in, change battery in, whatever remote control, and something will come up. And visually, like Chris was saying at the beginning, visually is obviously a lot more, people take it on board a lot quicker. The 60-70%, obviously increased rates in understanding and learning what we're talking about. So, yeah. Hey, Chris, with YouTube, obviously having so many views and obviously over 30,000 subscribers and whatever else, and have you actually been contacted by anyone to say, hey, can you put that into, can we pay you money for it? And then how have you had anything like that?
Yes. So quite often I receive emails from flight training organizations or students, asking to use my content in the training materials. So probably once a week at the moment I get something.
Is that all legit, you reckon?
It is. So I always do a bit of stalking and see who I'm actually communicating with. You
have to. Man.
You have to. Check who, because I also get a lot of scammers contacting me as well.
Yeah, of course.
Look, I don't actually ask for money from those sources. I just explain to them this is in public domain, so they can help themselves to it and use it. However,
very generous of you.
They're like, look, I mean, I don't put any restrictions on downloads. I think ultimately, it helps me anyway. So, I have no problems with that. But I have actually been contacted by companies that wanted me to create animations for them, and that's where it worked out quite well for me. So thanks to YouTube, that's how they found me, and I had a pretty good contract going for quite some time.
Fantastic.
And so I mean the YouTube is good for that. You can showcase your work on YouTube, and a lot of creators.
Even no, definitely. And I think with myself, having only 300 odd subscribers on my channel, I have actually been contacted by numerous number of companies saying, hey, can we purchase this time lapse from you, or can we use this photography piece for our website or whatever else. So even companies like Bunnings have contacted me, and they say, can you do YouTube can you create a time lapse for us, of this and this, and they want to purchase a acknowledgement for the country, for instance, because I travel a lot, I love outdoors, and I've created videos, time-lapse videos, and they wanted to use them. So so there's a couple of $100 here, a couple of $100 there, and I've even scored a couple of good clients out of YouTube as well, because they're seeing my videos, and obviously YouTube makes it possible, and that's what the whole thing is about. You know what I mean? Trying to get yourself out there. If you're a creator, if you do anything with creation, then YouTube will probably be the place to be. Like I'm on Vimeo, for instance, as well, and I'm guessing Vimeo is almost like a competitor to YouTube, which correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more for creatives, as in like filmmakers and whatever else. I don't know, but Vimeo doesn't
my
actually.
understanding.
Yeah, but Vimeo doesn't actually give you any benefit to be. I mean, I pay for my Vimeo account, for instance. I think it's like $80 or $100 a year or whatever it is, and I don't get anything out of it. You know what I mean? Other than my clients looking at my work because I purchase space from them. So I should basically grab all these videos and chuck them on YouTube, and then the same thing happens. You know what I mean? They still see it, and it's probably bigger rating or views that I get. So but yeah, no, like you were saying, you actually got some contracts out of it, and then obviously I got some work out of it as well. So I think a lot of people, you look at YouTube and they obviously appreciate the work, and it's great. It obviously works out for everyone because you're much easier to find, and whatever else. So but look, I'm almost talked out. We have been going for a little bit over an hour now, but my last question, who's your favorite YouTuber other than Melbourne Images?
I was going to say that, actually. It had to be Melbourne Images for photography, but
Melbourne Images, baby.
Absolutely. Look, it really depends. I have so many interests and hobbies. I don't have a single favorite, but look, for your listeners, for those interested in YouTube, I recently found a good channel. Good reference, a lot of good information there. It's called vidIQ. That's VIDIQ. So if you are thinking about, starting a YouTube channel, or you have one and you need a bit of help, this is a good resource to look up. Aviation, anyone interested in aviation, there's a channel called Mentor Pilot, and he does a lot of really good videos on, like air crash investigations and how things work and this and that. Fantastic. I've actually done a little bit of collaborating with him. He's used some of my content in his video, which I'm very happy about. Look, and animation. Brilliant. Animation, if you do want to dive into the After Effects world, there is a channel called Jake in Motion. He's very good. He's also got a Skillshare course, which I've done probably maybe 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
Fantastic for After Effects. So I'm into photography and all those other things, and there's a lot of really good channels out there. I mean, YouTube is fantastic. You could really spend a long time just it's quite addictive, and
totally agree. Well, for myself, I guess I'm just loading up my YouTube subscriber list, and for droning, I guess if you want to get into droning, Nerk FPV as well is one of the American guys that flies amazingly. But some local guys for droning would be like a Jazzman FPV or Umbrella FPV, which some of my people that look at me on my channel, they've obviously seen and heard of. But like if you do want more information on obviously YouTube itself, Peter Lindgren, a Swedish guy, he's been fantastic as well for developing that sort of. He talks about YouTube a lot as well. Big people like Matti Haapoja and obviously. What's his name? That guy that's got all the tats and stuff. Evan's favorite one. What's his name again? Evans? I can't remember now. It's oh my god! It's just I lost his name.
I can't remember. What are you asking me for?
It's
Peter.
Oh my god, Peter who? Peter, I can't remember. Let me bring it up.
No, I'm not going to bring up the surname now.
Peter McKinnon. Okay, so it's Peter McKinnon. Oh, mate, but like this guy's got obviously.
I wasn't going to say that, man. I actually knew the name, but I wasn't going to say it. But there you go.
But yeah, look, he's got 5.5 million subscribers as well, you know what I mean? And look, he does create amazing stuff. I think recently, as soon as he sort of clicked over that 5 million subscriber thing, mate, his videos became very cliche. And I don't know, to me, I've actually not subscribed to him anymore, but he does have created some amazing content in the past as well. But
his downfall was when he cut his hair, because that was one of the 3 things that you need for YouTube: long hair, tats, and lots of rings. When he cut his hair, that was it.
Who's your favorite YouTuber, Evan? Come on, man. You might have someone other than Melbourne Images.
It's Melbourne
and
Images.
And
Please
Flight
do
Club.
not hit me.
And Flight Club.
And Fight Club. I actually, to be honest with you, I'm not a very big YouTube user, believe it or not. I mean, occasionally I do jump on there to see how to change a panel on a car, Marty.
But you are on YouTube, though, so I'm just bringing up your... You got 17 subscribers.
17 subscribers.
Yeah.
Which one's that for?
17 subscribers. Your Pixel Life.
Oh, okay, because I put stuff up there for clients more than anything else. I don't really, like I said, with the Mud Rhino channel, I never really bothered to look at it. It's been 10 years and I haven't actually looked at it. That's how bad I am.
I don't think I'm actually subscribed to that channel.
Yeah, don't worry, not many people are. So, but
that's what Chris said. Remember, you need to subscribe. And you need to build up your subscriber rate so you can start making
you
cash.
Subscribe so I can make some cash, and the Golden Pour IPA. I actually don't really use YouTube very much other than to post client videos. It's not my forte, so I don't really chase it up. I mean, there's heaps of benefits to it. I'm not really a social media guru. I produce the content for it, but I'm not a marketing person. I don't chase it, and that's why I've never tried to monetize any of my videos. But yeah, look, I mean, I understand that it's popular, and I do occasionally go to it. Like I said earlier, I do occasionally need to remember how to do something, so I quickly look it up on the web. Fixing up my kid's RC car, every second day. I'm on there
for that. Yeah,
it's fantastic, and it's a great resource. It's just not one that I delve too much into. I don't have the time for it, and it's not really my forte. I've got channels, yes. One of them, like you said, is 17 subscribers. Oh, I'm actually quite impressed. I'm 17. How did I even get that far? But the other ones, like, there's a couple of... There's one that's like 500 people who subscribe to it. And so I didn't even know that there was subscribers to it. So, not my thing.
Now we kind of getting a little bit over time, as we normally do, getting carried away with chatting and, obviously try to understand what makes YouTubers tick and whatever else. And, all this, Sony people stick together. That's fine, mate. That's all good. Hey, but on the serious note, thanks heaps for coming on the channel.
Oh, my pleasure.
Can you give us how people can find you and give us so it's Flight Club. So just on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. It's actually Flight Club.
Oh, okay.
And my website is flight-club.com.au. So
when people bring it up, though, they will see a nice circle with Flight Club in it and a couple of lines on top as well. So that's
that's right.
It, yeah.
And
do you have other than YouTube, do you have a Instagram or any other social media stuff?
Look, I do. I have a Facebook page and I have an Instagram account. I don't actually use those much. I don't think that is probably the best idea for me. I should be utilizing those social media platforms a little bit more. I have a preference to let my channel grow all by itself. What's the word I'm looking for? Organically. So I should be using those, but I don't. So I only have a few images there, and that's about it. Now might pick
YouTube
it up
is
one day.
Yeah, and YouTube is obviously the main component that people can contact through you as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. My website, I've got a contact form there. I'm trying to keep it simple. I think I'll just stick to YouTube for now and see how things evolve in the future.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a good idea, and I mean the content that you're creating is phenomenal as well. I mean, I've known you for a while now as well, and I've saw your videos grow, and and basically it just becoming a lot more enjoyable to watch as well. So I think like with any other content creator, whatever else, you look at your old stuff and you kind of look at it, how crap was this, and then you look at the newer stuff. It's just you kind of you grow as a creator, you grow in your knowledge, and the older we become, the wiser we become as well. So unlike Evan, obviously, but he's not. He's just sitting there like a little boy, swinging on his chair. Come on, Evan.
I'm sorry, I'm not part of the Sony club, so I'm just sitting here sucking in my thumb.
But look, on a serious note, Dave, thanks heaps for coming out, Chris.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate your time. And if anyone wants to contact you, obviously flightclub.com.au, is it?
That's correct.
Yeah, perfect. No worries. Evan, would you like to finish anything off?
No, that was it was actually quite interesting to listen to Chris and about his channel. And from me personally, thank you very much, Chris, for joining us. I sit there and listen more than I actually speak, which it doesn't happen very often. And I was at the same time, I was looking through your channel at the same time, looking at some of the animations and stuff. So thank you very much for joining us. It has been a complete pleasure.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I wish you all the best of luck with your channels as well, and everything else that you do, and this podcast as well.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, we sort of got together on on the bike ride, and we sort of created this podcast, and we thought it's a good idea to sort of get people from like-minded people, obviously, and just get them to listen to us and how we we are do a business potentially, and obviously creating as well. So it's a lot of other ways, but yeah, beautiful. All right, thanks heaps, guys. If you want more information, obviously Flight Club YouTube is the main component. If you want to see any of my stuff, it's Melbourne Images on YouTube, melbourneimages.com.au as well. And Evan obviously is on YouTube as well with 17 subscribers. I've got to give him but Pixel Life is the man on YouTube there as well, so you can see some of Evan's work too.
Don't forget Team Mud Rhino from 15 years ago, which has
Team
almost
Mud
500 subscribers from doing nothing.
You got extra one now because I've just subscribed to it too. So
geez, thanks.
Yeah.
I better subscribe to your channel as well. Then in that case,
you better. Anyway, look, thanks heaps everyone, and have a lovely week, and hopefully you enjoy time off in out of lockdown in Melbourne. So all the best, guys, and have a lovely night, day. Ciao.
Take care.
Thank you.